Hello friends, today we are going to see how can we develop a mobile app in Android to track our location. So here the ID I am going to use is the Android Studio. I am going to start a new Android Studio project and I am naming my app as Track My Location. Click Next, and here this app is meant only for phone and tablet, and the minimum API minimum required SDK is API 17. Select Next. So here I'm going to take the Google's map activity. So it will generate some coding which can be customized for our purpose. So this is the activity name, the default name. I'm not going to change it. Click Finish. Yeah, the project is created. So directly it will be opening a XML file called Google Maps API.xml file, where we have to provide the Google Maps key. Here you can see that some name is given, and here this is the place we have to mention our Google Map API key. So now I'm going to show how can we generate this key. For that, just surf in the Google Developer Console. So when you search like this, we can see few links. So among that, console.developers and the next one, play.google. Don't go for this Google Play Developer Console, that is for the publishing app in the Google Play Store. But we want to go to Google API Console, where we are going to generate the key for our app. So this is the web page. So already I have some projects here. If you want to create the API key, the first step is select Create Project. Some name we can give, for example, Track App. Then click Create. You can see that the process is going on. Now we have to select Google Maps Android API. We have to select Enable. Now here we can see some message. To use this API, we need credentials. For that, click Create Credentials to get started. Here you can see to its right. So here you can see a blue button. What credentials do I need? Select it. And this is our API key. Just click over here. It is copied and press done. So this is the API key for our tracking location app. So here in this place we have to paste it. So once it is done, now let us see what is there in the manifest. We can see that one permission is included, that is to track our location, which is called access find location. So this is a very important permission we have to provide. This is an important permission we have to provide. Now, so this is the automatically generated code. We can see that it extends a standard class called fragment activity, implements on map ready callback. So this interface has a significant role in our app development. Now, when the onCreate method is triggered, we can see that the content view will be set. So let us see what is that content view. For that, go back to the project. We can see in the layout activity maps.xml. So this is the fragment we are using in order to load the Google map. You can see that fragment, and you can see the name is com.google.android.gms.maps.support map fragment. So here in this line, what we are doing is we are getting the support map fragment by using the find fragment by id r.id.map. Then we have to call the method getMapSync. So at that, once the app is launched, immediately the onCreate method will be invoked. Due to this line, this onMapReady will be triggered. We can see that this is the documentation of the onMapReady. This callback method is triggered when the map is ready to be used. So what's happening in the onMapReady, we are going to see that. So here a latitude longitude object is created with some latitude value and longitude value, and this is for the Sydney location. I will show the output at that you will be able to follow that. And here we are taking the map, that is a Google Map instance. Then we are putting a marker there. For that, new marker options, create an object of marker options. Then we have to say the position is here Sydney. Sydney is the latitude longitude object, and when you tap over there, this title will be displayed. And this method has an important role here. If you don't code this one, it will not be directly moved to that location even though it is marked over there. So let me run the output here. So I'm using my mobile here. You can see that the Gradle build is running. Now the APK is installed, it is launching now. So it may take some time, depends on the network speed. Let it run. So this is the very important method we have to override, and again this method is available in the interface called onMapReady callback. So this method is acting as a callback method, and you can see that the output is coming now. You can see that when I tap over this position, you can see the marker in Sydney. Suppose if I comment this, that is, I'm not calling the move camera method. Let us see the change in the output. So it is reinstalling that app. So this is the first view when you launch the app. Since we are not calling the move camera, the camera will not be moved, or it will not be directed to that position. So now if I want to see the Sydney location, I have to surf it. But still you can see that it is marked. So somewhere you can see that. Yeah, it is here. So that is the importance of this move camera method. And again, if you want to see zooming effect, we have to tap over here. Then only you can get the zooming effect. Otherwise, through the coding itself, we can do the same effect. For that, use camera update factory. Dot. There is an object like this, new lat long-so, and here we can specify the latitude longitude object that is your recipient, and you can mention how much zooming you need. That is a float value. You can say that 10.2f or something like that. So here we have to put 10.2f, and you can see the effect now. So let me run it again. Yeah, so now we have a default zooming. The zooming value is 10.2. Like that we can try with the 20, 30. The input format is float. That's all. Now we have to track our own location. So for that, how it can be done? So for that, first of all, we are going to use a class called location manager, which manages the location. To initialize this location manager, we have to call the method like this: get system service. Then there is a standard string object like this, location service. Then we have to do the necessary typecast. So now we have the location manager instance which manages the location. Then through the location manager, we can request the location update by calling the method request location updates, and see the documentation of that. So these are the parameters we have to pass. The first one is about the provider, whether it is network provider or the GPS provider, and what is the minimum time to update, minimum distance to update, and finally the location listener. So we are going to say that this is for first network provider. For that, use the class location manager dot which provider you want to use, network provider, and minimum time, if you want, we can say 60 millisecond or whatever. Maybe I'm going to say that 0, no need to wait, and minimum distance 0, or if you want you can say 1 or 2 in terms of meter. Then now we have to pass an object for location listener. For that I am going to use the anonymous inner class concept. For that, just type new, press Control spacebar, and locate where the location listener is coming, and press enter. We can see that automatically some code is generated, and it shows some error also. So now we are going to fix why this error is. We are going to analyze why this error is coming, then we'll fix it. So just keep the cursor over here. It shows that it requires some permission, and which is rejected by the user. So the code should explicitly check whether the permission is set or not. For that, just click over here. The indicator comes, then select add permission check. You can see that some permission checking code is generated. Here it checks that in the Android manifest, did we mention the access find location, then access codes location. Let us check in the Android manifest file. So here we have the access find location, and the codes location, if we want we can add it, but it is purely optional. The find location is more than enough. So now let us continue in the coding part. So when you call the request location updates, we have to pass a couple of arguments. This is the first argument, which provider, whether it is network provider or GPS provider. Then what is the minimum time to update, minimum distance to update. Then we have to pass some object for location listener. So the location listener is an interface which contains a couple of standard methods called onLocationChange. This is about the on status change regarding the provider enabled, and this is for the provider disabled. So here if you want we can put some coding to check when this method will be triggered. So this method will be triggered when the provider is enabled. When the particular provider is disabled, this will be triggered. So whenever is a status change, you can see that here this method will be triggered. So we are going to focus about the location change. For that, we are going to override this method now. So for that, the moment this onLocation changed method is triggered, this reference variable gets the details of the location. So through this location instance, we can get the latitude and longitude. That is the first step we are going to do it. So we are going to say that double latitude equal get latitude. So here get the latitude. Then now we are going to access the longitude. For that, double longitude location dot get longitude. So these two informations are very necessary later, which can be converted into an address by using the concept called geocoder. Now, so this can be utilized only if the network provider is working. So if the network provider is not working, then we have to go to the GPS provider. So first of all, let us check whether we have network provider supported or not. For that, again, use an if condition. We can check like this. Location manager dot is provider enabled. So here we are going to say that location manager dot network provider like this. So just now we generated some code for the request location update by using the network provider. So this should work only if the network provider is enabled. So I'm just cutting that code and putting it inside the if condition. So here in the if block, what we are doing is we are checking whether the network provider is enabled. But if it is not available, what shall we do that? For that, we are going to put an else if we'll check location manager dot is provider enabled. The second option we are going to try. For that, location manager dot GPS provider. So then again we have to use the same set of code we have to use, whatever we have done. Only one thing we have to change, this network provider should be replaced by GPS. That is only one thing. So let us code one by one. Using the location manager, we can make the request for location updates. And now again, so here we are going to utilize with the help of GPS provider. For that, location manager dot GPS provider, what is the minimum time required for the next update? For that, I'm putting 0, no minimum time, no minimum distance, that is minimum is 0. Then again new location listener, that anonymous inner class object. So if the GPS provider is enabled, this onLocation change will be triggered whenever there is an update in the location. So now let us go back to the network provider. Here we got the latitude and longitude. Once we completed this code, we can put the same thing for GPS provider onLocation changed method. So the next step is I am going to instantiate an object of type latitude longitude. and here we are going to pass two arguments, that is the latitude followed by longitude to the constructor of latitude longitude. That is the next step. So here instantiate the class latitude longitude class. Now we are going to get the geocoder object. So for that, again instantiate the class geocoder. So this geocoder class will convert our latitude and longitude into meaningful address names. So for that, take geocoder class, geocoder equal new geocoder, get the application context. So now we have the geocoder class. Now from the geocoder class, we can call the method get from location. This is the documentation of that geocoder class. So these are the arguments we have to pass in the get from location class, that is the latitude, longitude, then followed by how many maximum results you want. So the documentation says we can pass smaller values from 1 to 5. So in our current demo, I'm going to use the value 1. So here, first one is the latitude, then longitude. We are going to take only one result. Then, so let us see what is the return type. The return type is list of addresses. So we can do like this, list of address, and it gives an error, that is unhandled exception, IO exception. Just we can easily fix it by clicking that error indicator surrounded with the try catch. So now we have the address list. Now we can get the country name from the address list. We can get the locality name. So and the street name and everything, we can get it. For that, I am going to use a string class address list dot use the getter method. So we have only one address now, get 0 dot. If you want to get the country name, for example, right now I am in India. So if I want to display that India name, we can use the method get country name. If you use the get locality name, exactly where you are, that local place name, we can get it. And we can get the posted code, sub-admin area, sub-locality, and so many methods you can try. So right now I am going to use two methods. One is get locality and another one is the country name. So get locality. So along with that, I am going to append one more information, address list dot get 0 dot get country name. So we'll put some space also. Yeah. So now we got the location. Now we are going back to this part, that is the on map ready, where we have the automatically generated code to track to a particular location. So here we are not going to use anymore these 3 lines. So just comment it. So here I am going to use in our code, that is the location update, we are going to use this line, that is we are going to put a marker. So I just copied and now we are going to place it here. So here the new marker options dot position, our latitude longitude object, and the title, it is no more marker in Sydney. We have the title which is available in str, and we have to move the camera also to that side. For that I am going to take the next line, just copy it, so here again instead of Sydney, the default generate code, I have to put latitude longitude object. Now the same code I am going to just copy it and put it for the GPS provider on location changed method. So if the network provider is not available, it goes to the else if part, so this part will be triggered. So now let us deploy it in the mobile and check it. This is the previous code output. So now let us run it again. So the app is getting reinstalled, the activity is getting launched. Yes, yeah, it shows that you can see the Karunya Nagar. This is about here the add marker. You can see that marker is there. This is my right current location. When I tap over here, you can see Karunya Nagar, India. So this is the expected output. So if you want to know whether the network provider part is working or the GPS provider is working, we can put a simple toast and verify that. So this is about how to track our location in Android. Thank you for watching this.